Tally-ho, everybody, this is A Heap of Games, Adam speaking, and I'm having to be quite quiet because there's people sleeping in the room next door. Now, there were issues with Heat F of Banter Wars, which were made clear to me once the episode had aired regarding Boomslang, and things kicked off mightily. So, I've come to the decision that as a side competition I will run Boomslang through its matches again. As a completely unedited version, I've gone back to the files and pulled up the one he originally sent me, put it into the thing, made sure that it was working, and it's in now as an unedited, completely original version. And I'm putting it in its first round battle against Spider again, which was the robot that was in its first round. Now, before I start, I want to make my apologies to Boomslang for my oversight, which ended up in your robot being edited without your permission. Now, through Banter Wars editing, I made it a point to contact people if I was editing their robots, but somehow, through production, your robot got edited without your consent. My bad, my mistake, and I apologise for that. But if you go ask anyone else who's had their robot changed whether I asked them permission, they'll say yes, I asked them permission, specifically for what parts of the robot I wanted changed. So I intended to do it that way, but something went wrong somewhere. The robot passed its testing. It beat most of the robots it was tested against. And even then, when it got to the actual Heat F, it beat the Heat favourite, which was Spider. So when it got to the Heat final, and things did seem a bit suspicious, but by that point I thought, well, I've tested it enough, it should be fine. But obviously, looking back through the files, when Badnik brought it up, something wasn't fine. And he went onto GameTech Mods forums and just unleashed a horde upon me, which I've been dealing with for the last few hours. So yeah, that's been annoying. But I understand the concerns. I don't understand why it's gotten so overblown. This series was originally created to advertise my YouTuber friends. That's why they've got intros. That's why I've put their intros in there. This is a competition where basically people come and see these intros and go to other channels. GameTech Mods was never originally part of the plan, but I thought you'd enjoy it. Obviously, you've taken it more seriously than I thought you would, and you've kicked up a storm. So this is the side competition. I've waffled on long enough. Let's go find out who wins between Boomslang and Spider. Sorry if my commentary is not going to be great, but here we go. 3, 2, 1. Off they go. Boomslang and Spider. And Spider's tipped Boomslang over. Oh. I remember last time Spider got some of its arms ripped off by Boomslang. Come on, what's going to happen here? I've got no observer bot, by the way, because people found things to complain about that too. Some people don't like, well, GameTech modders don't like the observer bot for their reasons. The observer bot was considered when making this series. I did go over considerations. There's pros and cons to everything, and I chose the observer bot. And sometimes it makes errors, but that's part of the process. Right now, Boomslang is on its back. Spider is not moving. Now it's moving. Now Boomslang isn't. Well, this isn't going according to plan. I was going to put it against Burnt Waffle and Focious Goose, but that's not happening. Apparently, Spider wins. Does this mean that I put Spider through against Burnt Waffle? Let's do it. So, obviously now, this hasn't gone as I thought it would. Right, where's Burnt Waffle? Deary me. Oh god, what have I done? Here's Burnt Waffle. Okay. So, I've got to do this now. I've got to do this because I thought Boomslang would win and I'd have to play all the games, but now that Spider's won, I have to do this. And now Spider's against Burnt Waffle Gaming. So I hope this has made amends. By the way, that was the proper version of Boomslang. It came straight from the original file that I got from Badnik, and it's lost against Spider. Which, to be fair, in the first round, Spider was on top for long periods of the game, so they're quite evenly matched robots. But now I hope that you're satisfied that I've used your original robot unedited entirely. And you'll see actually that Spider here is slightly edited. I got his permission to edit. He had the hardened steel spikes, the really powerful ones. I asked him to change and put these smaller spikes on the flippers and on the front bits there. Not much to say at the moment, really, is there? I think Spider's got this one in the bag. Burnt Waffle Gaming's robot isn't the most manoeuvrable. But the thing is, there we go, there's a glitch. A lot of there have been problems with Banter Wars. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say it's perfect. I spent a lot of time on this series, but most of the time was spent on the production, the editing. I wanted it to look good so that the YouTubers could come onto this, be impressed by the looks of it, the transitions, and the intros that people gave, and they'd go out and check out those YouTube channels, sorry. So there was amount of effort put into the editing of the fights, cut out all the dodgy transitions between cameras, because you get quite a lot of them. I'll show you now, actually. So, like that, I just press one button and you get that weird stuff happening, and get bits like this where no robots are visible. So I edit all that stuff out. It's a long, arduous process, and I spent a lot of time on this series, absolutely loads of time, probably about 10 months. 9-10 months. Here's Burnt Waffle being counted out. Oh, back on its wheels. Will we have a shock here? So yeah, I was sad, really, because I spent so long on this, and then people found a mistake that I didn't realise was really there, and they've just gone and completely tarnished the reputation of the series, the thing I've worked so hard on. And it's really disheartening that that's happened. Really disheartening, because I did it for you. I did it all for you. There's no gain in this for me. I spent hours and hours where I could have been spending them elsewhere, doing other things that are probably more productive. But no, I considered you. I invited Game Tech Mod users in, and what they've done to my series... There we go, but Spider's one. What they've done to my series is they've gone some ways to destroying it. Definitely destroying its reputation. And I'll be honest, I think it's childish. Absolutely childish. Genuine mistake, and suddenly the world is against me. And I've apologised for it the best I can. I'm making amends now by running this series again. Right, where is Focious Goose? I think Focious Goose is in EHB. Yep, there it is. So Spider's in the final against EHB. No, Focious Goose, sorry. Let's see how this goes. The Heap final winner, Focious Goose. I won't carry on and do the grand final matches for obvious reasons, that the grand final hasn't actually been released yet. And Focious Goose actually has quite a good ground clearance, as you can see. Spider can't really get underneath it. It might do in a minute. It probably will do at some point. Focious Goose is a good robot, mind you, as well. It's got a pretty good, powerful flipper. It's got the Shreemech. It's all you really want in a robot, really, isn't it? Now Spider's underneath it, and I think Spider will be going through to the grand final in this non-canon side competition. And quite frankly, yeah, I like that, because Bad Wolf Gamer, it was his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to Bad Wolf Gamer, and he has had some rotten luck with this robot. It's a really good robot, but he's had some rotten luck with it, losing to AJ Patson Belcoot twice, which is unheard of. Obviously the first round against Boomslang in the actual series, where it did all the hard work and then couldn't finish Boomslang off. Why isn't Focious Goose self-writing? Oh god, is there an issue here? Oh, for God's sake, there's too many files. I've got so many files. Okay, so before I go, I'm going to redo that Heap final with the fully functioning Focious Goose. My problem is that I have about 10 different Robot Arena 2 folders, each with various editing stages of various competitors, so this is a bit mixed. So I've managed to capture the final version of Focious Goose against Spider. So this time Focious Goose should be able to self-right when it gets tipped over. Just, you know, I'm just trying to avoid any more bloody nonsense. So everything about this should hopefully satisfy people. So I've got to use the proper version of Focious Goose if I'm going to use the proper version of everything else. Now, the reason... oh, here we go. Spider straight under the Focious Goose, but there goes the self-writer. I love the Focious Goose self-writer. It's brilliant. It's a good robot. I think Badnik wanted a fight between Focious Goose and Boomslang, as it was the Heap final, and that's where Boomslang lost. But before I did this little retake of various Heat F battles, I thought that if I'm going to use the original version of Boomslang, I can't justify putting it straight into the Heat final. It's got to go through all its battles. You can see here Spider beat Focious Goose. It's got to go through all the battles, so round 1, round 2, round 3. So, Badnik, if you wanted a battle against Focious Goose, your robot had to go through the battles again to get that far, because else Bad Wolf might see it's unfair that Focious Goose got to battle the unedited version of Boomslang, but I didn't. So I had to run your robot through all the battles, and unfortunately it lost in the first round in its original form against Spider. So if you want to arrange a grudge match with Focious Goose in Banter Wars Series 2.5, I'm more than happy to do that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So this has just been a little extra bit on the video to put the full Focious Goose robot in there to save from any more bother. So this has been A Heap of Games. Ta-ra, toodle-pip, toodaloo, and cheerio. See you later, everyone.